Greetings, fellow Crows and Ravens, I am Mr. Crow Productions, and happy Valentine's Day! Valentine's Day. The day where the world's populace is divided. On one hand, we have people in couples, where they try to use Valentine's Day to breathe new life into their collapsing relationship/marriage, even though they're kinda both really sick of each other's shit, and kinda really at this point wanna strangle their, air quotation, significant other. But they still stay in a relationship to stick it to the other pile, great transition, people whom are not in relationships. Whom brag and boast about how they are so happy and fulfilled about being single and that they don't need anybody else but themselves. But in the middle of the night, they cry themselves to sleep with a copy of 50 Shades of Grey in their right hand, in pure jealousy and foolish hope that one day, a hot, smart, rich, nice, tall, romantic, generous, gorgeous, nice person that can even cook omelette with the sole power of their left nipple will come to show them what love actually is, and turn their meaningless life to a happier, more fulfilling one. I'm also incredibly fun at parties, believe it or not. And today's Kingdom Hearts discussion ties in perfectly with Valentine's Day, as it's about Sora and Kairi's, sort of romance, I guess. I say sort of because they only established that, indeed, these two characters like each other, but haven't done much with it yet. But before we get into the discussion, let's address the gray-haired elephant in the room. Yes, I'm talking about you, Riku. A popular theory amongst a few Kingdom Hearts fans is that instead of Kairi, Sora is actually into Riku. Now, I've got no problem with them being gay for each other if that's what Nomura intends to do, but I highly doubt it, for two reasons. The first one is an in-universe explanation, as there are many scenes and things that point out to Sora clearly being into Kairi. Just a few examples are that cutscene where Roxas says, about Kairi that she's the girl that Sora likes, multiple characters teasing Sora about liking her, and more importantly, the scene in Halloween Town where he imagines her dancing with him. So far in the universe, there are a ton more proofs that he's into Kairi. And there's only like one cutscene that everyone keeps talking about, that cutscene where Sora is like, "Oh my god, Riku, I finally saw you," and then gets on his knees and starts crying. People think of that like, yeah, this is not what you do when you react to finding a friend, but I would disagree. I mean, this was his best friend, and for all that year, he didn't know where he was. Last time he saw him, he was stuck behind a door that was literally full of thousands and thousands of Heartlesses. Like, he could have easily been dead. Incredibly happy and even in tears of joy to see his friend being not just only well, but in front of him now, actually helping out and saving Kairi. The second explanation is an outside game explanation, and that's because of Disney. There is no way, in hell, Disney would allow for such a thing to happen. It's Disney. They're the most politically correct corporation that ever existed. They would not, and let me repeat that again, they would not let their brand be associated with a gay couple, because their PR is so strict about offending anyone of any type of people or any group that they always tiptoe around social topics as these and decide to not pick any sides or, not support or not explicitly support any side so that they can, keep all sides as potential customers. So for that reason, I personally believe Soriku is not a thing. Though I highly doubt that will stop people from making fan art of them polishing each other's keyblades, if you catch my drift. There has also been a theory that Sora, Riku, and Kairi are actually in a poly relationship, but my same 2 points apply. But back to our horses. Believe it or not, Sora and Kairi's, will they or won't they, is a fairly controversial subject in the fandom, as there are both supporters and detractors, and honestly, they both bring interesting arguments. The former think that the romance would add a lot to the narrative and give more character to Sora and Kairi, while the latter think that in the contrary, the romance could damage the plot by adding more story to a game that already has a bunch of plot threads to tie up. Plus, they fear that it could alter the trio dynamic that Sora, Riku, and Kairi seem to have. So, what does yours truly think? Well, like most other subjects, I'm quite the skeptic. Now, I do see the possible benefits of a romance subplot. Yeah, I think it could add another layer of character and story, and might actually make me care about Kairi. But that is if it's done well. And unfortunately, romances are incredibly easy to fuck up. I would hate it if we fall into an Attack of the Clones situation, where the poorly handled romance managed to compromise the whole product. So overall, I'm not against it, in the contrary. They have been teasing it for so long that I expect at least something. But if it doesn't happen and they rather keep it ambiguous, I wouldn't sweat it. Though I do admit a part of me would kind of be disappointed. Well, that's what I think. But hey, tell me what you think about this in the comments below. Do you think they should or they shouldn't? And, give your arguments on why. I will read your comment. That sounded threatening for some reason. But yeah, like the video if you liked it, and you can share the video on your social media if you want to help out. It goes a long way. And with that said, thank you for watching, and have yourselves a great evening.